from my heart. Put it on the right track. Put it on the right track. Message from my heart. Message from my heart. Put it on the right track. Put it on the right track. Message from my heart. Message from my heart.
time on my energy. War with the knowledge of a whore, never land. They're gonna have a hard time to define the finest. And I'd rather die first, start to be fake. Fuck silly time on my energy. War with the knowledge of a whore, never land. They're gonna have a hard time to define the finest. And I'd rather die first, start to be fake. Fuck silly time on my energy. War with the 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 lies of a 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 fuck silly time on my energy.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the round of 16 for this year 2022's Catch World Cup. I'm JB Hyperion, joined by Seka for this upcoming match between France and Italy, two European titans for sure.
Oh yeah, when people think about European catch, these are the first two teams that come to their mind, without a doubt, honestly, at this point. France and Italy, definitely, I'd say, the most powerful European teams. On the side of Italy, we got all the 79s, Vito 79, Armor 79, Kami 79, Noza 79, Sakhalin 79, Answer, Waffle 79. On the side of France, we got T-Tobis, Electro, No Life, Boros, Hollow, and Natsuko. These guys are just so good at the game. And honestly, this is a matchup that you could see even happening in finals week, and honestly, possibly even grand finals week. That's how strong these two teams are. And here they are facing off in the round of 16.
Yeah, absolutely. It's unlucky that one of these two has to end up in losers bracket after this week, but we've seen some teams come back from early defeats in the losers bracket to come through. I mean, You yourself have tried to finish off China in like quarterfinals on multiple occasions, only to have them rise from the dead in that finals week.
It's very hard to get rid of China completely, but this year I think they're looking a lot stronger. And we're going to be getting the first bans of this match coming in. We're going to see France banning Hard Rock 1. It's a bit surprising. And then Italy banning DT3. You know, I would have expected these bans to be, you know, swapped looking at these two teams. Before the kind of match, me and JVH were talking to ourselves, and like, I think France picks Hard Rock 1. I think France is probably the better Hard Rock 1 team, and here they are banning it. They're also saying how Italy was probably the better DT team, and they're like, nope, we're banning it. So, we do see Italy coming with their first pick. Mixed Mod 1, I think this is definitely the best pick for Italy. I think Mixed Mod is just so much better for their skill sets compared to France. I think France is very good at Mixed Mod, but they don't have the same strong hidden player that I think Italy could bring out with the side of Kame. I think Kame is completely able to play something like this on hidden. It's still relatively easy enough for Kame to play a hidden. It's only AR 9. I mean, Arma's, you know that guy's gonna pop off on Hard Rock.
Yeah, as you said, Mixed Mod 1 was Italy's first pick in their round of 32 match against the Netherlands last week, as well, that being Mapletown Memories. We're going to be scaling things up quite a little bit here, though, with the round of 16 Mixed Mod Summoning 101. I'm not a Hard Rock player, but I think you will probably say, as someone who's very skilled, that this is honestly quite painful with Hard Rock, and would be quite a challenge, even for some of these players, to be performing well under tournament pressure.
Yeah, so this map is definitely harder than any of the Hard Rock maps itself with Hard Rock, and I think that's intended based on you only have one Hard Rock player for this map, and I think that's personally fine. It is CS 4.3, it's just going to go quite a bit higher with Hard Rock, I think like 5.7, something like that, and that makes it really tricky, especially at this kind of 1/3 swing or 1/3 BPM, where it's like really sparse at times and really tight with the spacings. It gets just really hard to stay consistent on this map with Hard Rock.
Yeah, as you said, only one player for Mixed Mod needs to play in Hard Rock. If you haven't seen any of the Mixed Mod performances in the World Cup this year, Mixed Mod entitles one player to play with no mod from each team, one with Hidden and one with Hard Rock. So it's a bit different from Free Mod that you might have seen in the past, where you can pick any number of mod combinations from those three on any of your players. One person must play on each individual mod.
Yeah, and so it looks like we're going to be seeing the lineup from Italy that we are probably going to see for most of the matchup. Armor 79, Kame 79, Sir Waffle 79, all on the screen right now. And on the side of France, I think this is probably the best three French players as well. We have Titovis, Boros, and Natsuko. Definitely the strong players. I think in this matchup, Boros might be the Hard Rock player. I'm not completely sure. I'd probably put Boros as the Hard Rock player. We'll have to see coming into this. Seems like the players are sorting themselves out, so that way we can see all the players kind of, symmetrical on the screen with Mixed Mod. So that way Hard Rock, and then no mod, and etc, etc, etc.
Very good of them to make it a little bit easier for us. When does it start? It starts right now. Welcome to game number 1 of this best of 11 between France and Italy.
Yeah, and something that's a bit interesting is we have Boros coming in with the Hidden. Something that usually you wouldn't see that much of. We have Titovis on the Hard Rock for the side of France. Usually when you think of Boros, you think this guy is the guy for Hard Rock for France. But he is playing Hidden this year for Mixed Mod.
Yeah, a little flexibility is a sign of a good team going forward. You don't always have to have the same kind of 3 players always playing the same maps. As we see an early miss from Armor there at about 100 combo on the Hard Rock.
Yeah, and that's going to be more painful than a no mod miss. It is in the first about 100 combo, so it's not going to be as punishing as a full miss. But it is definitely going to be noticeable, especially between these two titans of a team that, honestly, between most of these maps, you might not see more than a few misses. And as we say that, Boros and Sir Waffle are going to be finding their first misses of the map.
Yeah, Hidden and Nomad both weighted at 1 time score multiplier, so those 2 misses effectively being equal, happening after the 200 combo mark. But Waffle missing again there before building up a significant combo. That's going to give France a bit more of an advantage as we come to about 1/3 distance.
Yeah, this is going to build up quite a bit. It's already about a 110,000 point lead, and it's going to just only get higher and higher as these combos for France stay between Titobus and Natsuko. Titobus holding the SS still with Hard Rock. Very impressive on his side. As we said, that score lap is only increasing. I think it's going to settle in at about 130,000, maybe 140,000. Once Sir Waffle brings that combo back up to 200, which is the combo cap. This slow section is very sketchy for the Hard Rock players. You can see Armor79 kind of struggling with his movements because you just have to guess at where the fruit's going to go.
Yeah, just keeping your eyes glued right to the top of the screen there so you can see and notice these things exactly as they appear.
Yep. Something that is a bit interesting as well. Comment79, oh, I was just about to say he was holding Nessus, but him and Sir Waffle do find more misses. That's going to make the score gap so huge for the side of France. France coming out really, really strong. They only had that singular miss, I believe, from Boros at the start of the map at about 220 combo. Apart from that, they're just holding on so strong.
Yeah, Natsuko still with that double S on Nomad. Tobus just with a single droplet miss, I think, has barely affected that score at all. This was Italy's first pick, don't forget. You see the blue coming out there. So
Yeah.
This is going to be a very decisive opening momentum swing towards France as Cam sees a few drops there as well.
Yeah, and I think this just goes to show how strong France is on these kind of map pools this early on. Like, France is the team that you ask who is one of the most consistent teams in the Catch World Cup on an early stage, you're probably going to say France. That's just how consistent they are. And look at that. FC from Titobus, FC from Natsuko, only 2 misses from Boros at probably around the same time. That's just so hard to beat. I don't know if any team is actually going to beat that team score throughout the whole weekend, honestly.
Yeah, really impressive opening start from France on a map that wasn't even their pick either, so an immediate break point for France, and they get to decide what's next. We initially thought that Hard Rock was definitely going to be their go-to, but they ended up banning Hard Rock 1 first off. So it'll be interesting to see where they go next. I think fielding a team of 3 hidden players against Italy is probably, I wouldn't say risky, in that like Italy are a better hidden team than them, but I think both teams would kind of both favour their chances but also not want to take the risk on hidden. But they are actually going to do hidden 3. Okay, we're just completely wrong so far this match. Surprised at every turn.
Honestly, hidden 3 I think is probably a pick that suits Titobus as sort of the 3rd member for hidden, I think, on the side of France. Actually might not be even seeing him. We have Hollow coming in on the side of France, Hollow being one of the hidden members of France. I think we're probably going to be seeing Electro as the 3rd member for France. Might not be. On the side of Italy, we're probably going to be seeing these 3 players play most of the maps. We might be able to see Noza or Sakhalin come in, but no, we're actually going to get started straight away. Natsuko is going to be playing the hidden. That's something that I didn't really expect coming into this one. I would have assumed that it would have been either Titobus or Electro filling in for that slot.
Yeah, so no Titobus, no Electro. France wasting absolutely no time in continuing this match. Rapid pace as we go into game number 2. France currently leading 1-0 after that early break point.
I think this map also definitely suits Kame and Arma's skill sets for hidden quite a bit more. This map is more reliant on having just the base skill that you need with Nomad to be able to hit some of these patterns like these right here, that ones that you found Sir Waffle getting his misses on. Hollow trading it shortly after is going to be a slight advantage for Italy once all the scores even out, just to do how the combos work, but Arma and Natsuko getting 2 misses right next to each other.
Yeah, approach rate 9.3 on this one does make it a lot more accessible to some of the lower approach rate hidden stuff that we've seen in previous rounds. But some of these streams are really kind of awkwardly spaced as well, as Sir Waffle really struggling, just dashing away from some of these streams a little bit too soon.
Yeah, it's actually, if you look at Sir Waffle's movement, he's going very slow, it looks like. Natsuko gets a miss on the top side of the screen, followed up by Sir Waffle. He's just moving a bit too slow, it seems like. He's not completely having faith in his movement when he's pressing the dash button, and that's a bit unfortunate. because it is kind of costing his team many points. Armor 79 and Hollow getting misses on these little stack sections. They're a bit tricky to place. And that is going to be another huge miss on the side of France. 2 more misses from Hollow and Natsuko. That's possibly going to even it up here.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that Armor tried to stack the first set of wiggles, missed. Tried to wiggle the second set of stacks and then missed. So in the end, he just kind of ended up doing a mixture of both.
Yeah, and Natsuko finding many misses in this area end of the map. It might flip over to Italy. There it is, that flip right at the last few seconds of the map. And is that going to be it? Is that going to be a point for Italy?
Waffle found consistency at the perfect time to capitalize on those mistakes from Natsuko and also a couple from Hollow as well. So Italy are going to sneak this one by about 6,500 points. We see another break point. France deciding maybe Hidden was not quite the pick they needed to go for.
Yeah, there's only 6,900 points between the two teams. We see Kame and Boros getting 2 SSs, very good scores from the both of them. The supporting cast for both teams, not the best. It seems like it was more of a who has the better second and third players on this map. Typically, you'd see also Boros, not the best of hidden players, but hey, he seems like he's doing pretty damn good so far in this round. At this point, you kind of have to wonder what is going to be the next pick for Italy. They lost their first mixed mod map, and then they got a break point on Hidden. So these teams are kind of just trading their picks. Hey, you want to win that? Okay, you can have that. I think that Double Time 2 would be the pick for Italy. I think that they're slightly favored on the more denser Double Time map, one that requires a little bit more of a skill set, but they're going to be going Hard Rock 3.
You can see some logic in this. France banning Hard Rock 1. Again, before the match, I would have thought that France were maybe slightly favoured on Hard Rock, especially with regards to the converted maps. I mean, you have players like No Life and Hollow who are just Tobus that are just excellent at convert play.
Yep. On the side of Italy, we do see their first substitution, Vito, coming in for the side of Sir Waffle. That is definitely something that you would expect, Vito being pretty much known as the guy who hidden hard rocks every single marathon and catch pretty much. That guy,
I mean, his name was literally like Hidden Hard Rock at one point. Like XDHR, but yeah.
If there is a map,
his forte.
If there's a map that hasn't been FC'd with Hidden Hard Rock and it's like below 6 stars and it's a marathon, you can bet that he's been playing it for quite a while and there's some weird pattern that hasn't been able to hit for probably at least months at this point. And we're not seeing any Boros on the side of France. That's something that I'm just really surprised about. This guy's
like Guy SS's a map that you weren't expecting him to do that well on, and then you sub him out straight away?
I mean, even then he's
game plan here.
He's contradicting all my knowledge about him. I've talked to the guy quite a bit too, and like I've always known him as the guy who's really good at Hard Rock, especially on converts like this, and he's not playing it. So
it may be that France already know what their next pick's going to be, and so he's resting and training for that.
Yeah, maybe they're going to Hidden 2 after this, I'm not sure, but I think France definitely have the players to be able to do that comfortably. We're going to be all seeing 6 SSs, Hollow actually getting the first droplet miss in the intro of the map. It's not going to matter that much, the spin is going to be what's going to decide this intro more than the droplets. Every team holding pretty strong. We actually see a bit of an advantage because Vito's dropped quite a few droplets. That's going to be a lot of droplets. Look at his ACKs of 99.1. That's, I think, 5 droplets, and that's what's going to be setting the big gap here on the side of France.
Yeah, as you said, like droplets on their own don't make a huge deal, and that does make a huge deal though. Kame with the first drop there at the halfway mark is going to send France back into the lead by a slightly more comfortable margin.
If you give France an inch, they're going to take a mile. That's how France are, especially on the round like this. They honestly might just end the map with only a few misses at the end, because the end patterning at the very last 5 seconds is really hard. I don't know how many players are going to hit it. I'd assume at least 2 are going to miss on the very ending. Vito does get another miss on the side of Italy. That's not what you want to see if you're an Italian fan. And France still holding these 3 FCs so strong right into the end of the map.
Yeah, unless we see a huge stack of misses from one or multiple France players right now, I think this one is definitely going their way, because there's not a lot left in the map available, as Vito's just building back up to that combo cap.
into this sort of very hard patterning. I think it's right here. You see Tobis wiggling that. I don't know how he wiggled that. That was fast.
That is a flex and a half. Can we get this man extra points for that, please?
Yeah, true. Oh man. And
Really,
that is
really
gonna
solid
be,
performance across the board.
yeah,
there.
that's probably going to be the highest team score again on the side of France. Only Hala finding a miss at the end of the map. That's, I don't know how you can beat that. These players are just coming in, setting probably the highest team scores that we will see across the whole weekend out of any team on this map, and their first point as well. And you gotta wonder, it's like, France, they showed up and they're not playing around. That is for sure.
I mean, Italy's score wasn't exactly bad by any stretch of the
Yeah,
imagination.
definitely.
Both of these teams have practiced a lot, and that's very obvious.
Yeah, that Italian score is probably enough to beat most of the teams that are in this round.
Oh, banger alert. No Mod
Oh,
3
yeah.
coming out now. So yeah, we finally see some Nomad making an appearance. Is this what Boros was being rested for? Will we see him making a reappearance?
Possibly, but I'm a bit surprised because that last map is a bit similar to this one in the fact that the movements are very similar. I think we could see No Life coming in on something like this. No Life, probably the most experienced French player apart from Tobis on maps like this. Even might be more experienced
Certainly
than
a very
Tobis.
experienced combat player. And yeah, I kind of agree with what you said there, that they're both very like revolving around like high slider velocity and strong hypers into weird slider shapes as well, as we do see No Life making an appearance there.
Now these are rosters that you'd probably expect for both teams, fielding all three of their best players on something like this. Now this map, it's like, honestly, it could be a 6-way FC. That's how good these players are, especially on something like this. You don't really expect many misses on a consistency jump map like this. It's not really like the kind of traditional jumps where you go left, right at like a 120 BPM metronome. No, this is more so like, okay, you have one really far jump at 1/4 at 130 BPM. It's a much different skill set, and this skill set I think is favored for both teams, honestly. Probably a bit more so on the side of France, considering that No Life and Tobis have been playing these maps for, honestly, years at this point. Probably more than a decade's worth collectively between just the two of those players.
Yeah. Certainly longer than I've been playing the game, and I'm not exactly a new player either.
Yeah. At this point, you're just as ancient as they are, honestly. If there is anything to watch out for this map, it is the ending spin. I believe the ending spin is a bit troublesome. Actually, that's 3 misses on that farther jump right there. It's going to be 1 miss advantage for the side of France. Hala does find another miss, but it's not going to nearly matter as much as that second miss on the side of Italy.
Yeah, so these teams can see each other's scores in this break. France knowing that they've got about an 18,000 point lead, but Italy with a very slight combo gap, so that is combo advantage, so that gap is going to come down a little.
Just very slightly. That's going to be another miss for Hala, though. I think that's going to even it out
Yeah,
quite
for
a
sure.
bit.
Because Kama and Waffle are both
Yeah.
back at the 200 combo already.
Now there is a pattern on the right side of the screen coming up soon, I believe, that is like you can stand still it right here, everybody deciding to wiggle it. Sometimes that pattern decides to trip a few players up. It's like, I can stand still this, but wiggling is probably safer, but wiggle, you gotta wiggle, you know? So, a bit
I
nice
like
to
the
see
idea
all-
of the pattern deciding to trip the player up like it has a conscience and it knows who it
Yeah.
wants to win or lose.
Oh man. Yeah, everybody recovering pretty well after those first few initial misses. Everybody having quite well above 200 combo.
There's probably no more than about a 10,000 point lead for Italy right now. There we
Yeah,
see
there you go.
10.5, 11,000. Real close.
Yeah, and that's not enough to be decided by spinners. I don't think Italy will throw the spinner by that much. It'll take quite a miraculous performance in a not good way to be able to throw a spin lead by 11,000 points. But I think they're probably will be at least 1 or 2 more misses towards the end of this map, and that could definitely swing the favor in one team's advantage. Now, I also think that 10,000 points is enough to get overcome if a team decides to miss on this last slider that's pretty challenging. Could very much happen that one of the Italians miss on the farther slider, I think maybe 1100, 1200 combo, and that might be enough to be able to turn the score right at the very end of the map. Slider should be coming up relatively soon, right here. Everybody hits it, and it's looking like Italy are going to be securing this one unless something drastic in these last few minutes happen. It's always possible. And that is it. Italy are going to win this one by just the thinnest of margins. That's only 12,000 points. Man, Hollow only missed 3 times. There's only 2 misses on the side of Italy, and that's just how close these matches are going to be between these two teams.
We've seen a lot of the games go this way, where there's some kind of nerves at the beginning and players like struggle a little bit, and then they take a deep breath, and then they just nail the rest of the map like it's nothing. So that's 4 break points in a row, if I'm not mistaken. 2 on each side. No one has won their own pick yet.
And honestly, that just goes to show the complete volatility of this match. I think volatility is just the perfect word for something like this. It's like, these maps are so coin flippy for both of these teams because they're just so much better than the map pool kind of suggests at this round, that like you can lose each of these maps by 1 miss, and that's just all it takes. 1 miss, 1 bad RNG miss, and you just lost. And that's going to show how these picks are going, with all 4 of them being breakpoints. It's like neither team are truly going to be advantaged for any of these maps, I feel.
So Italy to pick next, and the timer has started to elapse a little bit more than in the previous rounds. We saw teams picking very quickly for the first 2 picks each. Now we're starting to take a little bit longer. Some more thinking is having to go into it because of their safety concerns and some of the comfort picks, or, I mean, I say comfort picks, but both teams have lost their first 2 picks. But
yeah, at this point you start to second guess yourself. It's like, were we really strong on that map? You know? It's like, were we really going to win that one? Even though you got like 4 breakpoints in a row, we're actually going to be seeing Nomad 4 on the side of Italy. This is going to be more the traditional jump map that everybody thinks of when you see a jump map. It's going to be the 108 BPM, just big left-rights kind of jump map. A little bit different compared to the last one, which is going to be 1-4 jumps. This is going to be 1/2 jumps. It's a bit longer at 4 minutes 14 seconds, but that's not a problem for these 2 teams.
yeah, a little bit different in that both teams will think, okay, then there are different sets of skills involved and we have the players that can compete for those. But similar enough from Italy's perspective, I think, that they can say, well, okay, we won that one by like a fairly small margin. This one is similar, but maybe we feel that we're a little bit more consistent on this type of map, so if we won that one, then we should win this one as well.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Mind you, that logic hasn't applied to nearly anything so far, so we might just be talking complete nonsense.
Quite possibly. But yeah,
Hollow
both teams in the
suggesting
chat-
play the map with 0% music.
Yeah. This song, you definitely have to have an acquired taste for this type of music. And a lot of players kind of bit of a vibe song, you could say. And some players, when you're in a high stress situation, like they just like, oh my gosh, I can't be bothered to listen to something that's like this chill and relaxing for 4 minutes and be this tense. It's like 2 colliding worlds just mixing with each other, and you're like, it's painful.
Well, painful for the players, but obviously fantastic for us to see. And we hope you're all enjoying watching. Coming into game number 5. And just a reminder before we get underway to anyone who's just tuned in, this is a winners bracket match, round of 16, so both of these teams won't be eliminated no matter who loses. One will drop down to the losers bracket. And both teams have lost their opening pick, so all 4 of the points that we see on screen right now are break points. So these 2 teams very evenly matched right now.
Armor 79 finding a really early miss. That's something that you would probably never really see. Something, he's probably just laughing to himself right now. He's like, oh my gosh, how did I miss something like that? You know, I think Armor's that kind of guy is like not really getting frustrated, but is like kind of laughing at himself. He's like, man, I don't know how I missed that. But it definitely has
Well,
to be a little painful.
yeah, as one of the longest maps in the pool, obviously outside of the tiebreaker, early misses like that are not hugely impactful in the grand scheme of things, provided, of course, everyone else doesn't FC the map.
Yeah, and honestly though, the thing is with this match, I was just about to say we could see it triple FC, but Hollow does get a miss for the side of France. It's going to be after the 200 mark, but Armor trades it really fast. So the advantage for France is still going to be there by about maybe half a miss, and that's going to probably bring it to a full miss with Armor's third miss of the map. I don't know what's kind of getting into him. Maybe he's just not prepared for some map like this. I don't know. Usually you think of Armor and he's like, this guy is the premier jump player out of all of Catch. But seems like he's having a bit of a hard time today on this kind of map.
There was almost a miss there from Sir Waffle. He kind of dashed across to that little 5-note horizontal stream and barely caught the first one with the left edge of the platter. But hey, doesn't matter how you keep combo as long as you keep the combo.
Exactly. You can miss every droplet, you know? If you miss every droplet map, it's not going to matter as much as breaking a single combo. That's just how Scorpio 2 works in Catch. Combo above 200 is really important. As long as you hold it, then you're fine. And everybody else, except for Armor and Hollow, holding the triple SS, or the 4-way SS between all of them.
Yeah, unlike some of the previous maps we've seen, slider, kind of funky slider shapes and like high slider velocities, not too common. This is definitely more of just a kind of jump from simple pattern into simple pattern, but the spacing is really the kicker here.
Yep. No Life finding a miss right as the course here starts. That's going to even it out quite a bit. I think that's going to bring it to just about even between these two teams. Now, a miss in this map isn't worth that much, but that's going to be really painful. Both Arma and Kame, the two rocks for the side of Italy, getting misses in the middle of this course. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, that was a really interesting miss going back there to No Life. He kind of dashed from the far left back into the right and stopped like halfway between the two notes. I'm not sure, did he think that was a hyper dash and he was like going to get pushed all the way to the note and then just didn't try to keep holding the dash? That was very strange.
But you know, they got a lead, and it's going to be about a 2-miss gap right here for the side of France. And getting 2 misses on this very end of the map, they know that they're up by about 2 misses, 60,000 points on something like this. Going to be about 2 misses. As you see from No Life score compared to T-Tobus' score, you see about a gap of 29,000. That's going to be about 2 misses at 229,000 together. You actually might have a spin advantage for the side of France. So even if France do get 2 individual misses very soon, even might just still be on their side just due to the spins. Hollow gets the first
one of the 2 misses.
Yep. Now you just need another one really fast because the map is ending very soon. There's only about maybe 150 combo left, I think, maybe 200 max. You're going to need more than 1 miss at this point. You're going to need 2, and it's looking really, really grim for the side of Italy on this map. And at this point, coming into the final seconds, that's just about going to secure it. And I think that's going to be the 5th break point, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. Yeah, that was Italy's pick, no mod 4. So France taking the 3-2 lead. These teams trading points. Really, really good performance there from Tobus and Sir Waffle, holding strong. And very similar misses, just 1 miss difference with Armor relative to Hollow. And that was what decided it in the end.
Yeah, I also want to point out, look at the scores between T-Tobus and Sir Waffle. That's a 4,000 point difference on just spins. And having that much of a point difference between spins, that's like, what? 3 bananas is approximately 1,000 points. If you have 4,000 gap, that's like, what? 13 spins? 12, 13 spin bananas difference? Yeah. That's huge.
That gives you, as France, I think, a lot more confidence to go into some of the easier no mods, like no mod 1 and 2, which are obviously the only ones left, thinking that, yeah, it doesn't matter if everyone FCs because we'll outspin.
I think that is definitely something that France has another advantage on. We haven't really talked about it much, but France, I think, are definitely the better spin team compared to Italy. Italy not having the best of spins compared to all the top 8, top 16 teams. They're definitely able to compete with some of the teams, but it's honestly hard to compete with France. France are being one of probably the top 8 teams on spins. You see Tobis with that spin right there. He's just really, really good at spins. Usually the old players are good with spins.
So France deciding to round out the mixed mod pool, our second and only mixed mod, Egret and Willow. So this is more like what we expected, like Italy's start to be on mixed mod, and they obviously famous. This was their first pick. Very confident with that. France deciding, well, this is a convert and it's more our speed.
You know, also looking at the side of Italy, their roster here is quite interesting. And now this is something that you probably wouldn't think of at first glance, but it actually works out very well if you think about it deeply. We have Vito 79, Sir Waffle 79, and Kame 79. This is going to mean Kame is going to be on the hidden, Vito is going to be on the hard rock, and Sir Waffle is going to be on the no mod, and that's honestly completely fine. Even though you don't have Arma, who's probably, actually definitely one of your top 2 players on the side of Italy, this roster completely works out. Vito being a hard rock player, Kame being able to take the shoes of the hidden player, and then Sir Waffle, I think, probably being more consistent on a no mod pick like this than Arma is. So I think it's a good move on the side of Italy to bring out this roster in particular.
Well, so Waffle did just SS the last no mod pick, so I
Yeah.
think it's pretty sensible throwing him there on that no mod. Tobis filling that hard rock slot as he did exceptionally well in mixed mod 1. Boros going to be coming back into hidden as well, and No Life, the no mod convert player, doing no mod convert things.
Yeah, and something that is also going to be interesting to point out is that Tobis, he hasn't missed on any round stage map yet. He's FC'd all the maps that he's played past qualifiers, 8 out of 8. And now this one is probably going to be the more challenging one for him to FC. He's playing the hard rock on the mixed mod. He FC'd the last one with hard rock on the mixed mod. This one's going to be just as challenging. We see Boros coming in with the first miss, No Life following up very shortly after.
Yeah, Tobis out for that number 1 performance ranking. He was second in the round of 32 behind only Molkus from Japan. So he's going to go one better this time, perhaps with this performance for sure. Definitely a contender. It's going to be Italy with the early advantage here though, after those early misses from Boros and No Life. No Life back at 200 combo now, so it's going to be stabilized at about an 80,000 point gap. This isn't a hugely long map, we're already halfway through.
Yeah, and the thing about this is it only takes 2 misses to be able to come back from the side of Italy, because I believe Boros missed before that 200 combo mark, and you also have the fact that it is not the hard rock player who missed on the side of France. So France have a feeling that their hard rock player still FCing, which is pretty good, but you still need 2 more misses on the side of Italy. If Vito 79 or either Sir Waffle or Kame miss, and that's going to be the first miss right there from Vito. That's going to be more impactful than either of the misses on the side of France due to the hard rock mod providing a 1.12 multiplier. We still need maybe 1 more.
Yeah, I don't think that on its own is going to change too much because we are coming very close to the end. Vito missed a huge chunk of notes there, but on their own, not too much of a problem as long as he maintains his combo now.
There we have.
And there we go.
It's only 3 misses between all the players. Vito 79 finding 4 misses, but those are all on the same pattern, so essentially just 1 miss right there. That's 3 misses on a mixed mod map. That's insane.
Yeah, Tobis again, double S. So Waffle again, double S. Kama joining in the fun this time as well. So can we count to 6? That's 6 breakpoints in a row. No team has won their own pick yet, and we're kind of running out of maps now. Remember, this is best of 11, so first to 6. Both teams halfway towards that victory that they so desperately desire. What do we got left on the board? 2 no mods, both specifics. We got 2 hiddens, also both specifics. A hard rock, lots of double times, no double time been picked, and the 1 double time ban from Italy so far. Mixed mod, done, gone. No more mixed mod. Both of those picks taken off the table.
You know, the crazy thing I think about this is you look at the maps that both of these teams have picked, and you've been realizing that they've only lost by 1 miss on most of them, right? 1 or 2 misses has pretty much been the highest gap, except for that one map where I think France won by 200,000 points. But you look at the maps they picked mostly the harder maps to FC, and they're still FCing them. You come to things like DT1, DT2, Nomad 1, Nomad 2, these maps are a lot easier to get 3-way FCs on than Mixed Mod or Hard Rock or even Hidden 3. So you get to the point where it's like, it's just gonna get closer. And
we see it
Italy,
again.
yeah, coming in with DT4. This is another one of those maps where I think nerves are going to get these players a lot. The movement on this map is really, really finicky, where if you move a little bit too much or a little bit too little, you're gonna miss.
I think both teams have kind of psyched themselves out of picking the comfort picks, because they're like, we're picking the hardest maps possible because we think we're better, but they're still so close and there's almost nothing that can separate them. And if I'm any of the players in this lobby right now, and I'm thinking like, even the hard maps are a coin flip. So like the easy maps are obviously going to be a coin flip. And because we've lost so many break points, like none of us have won our own pick, they're not going to be feeling as confident to play those comfort picks. They're going to be psyching themselves out, and the longer it goes, the perceivably harder those easy picks become.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. Remember, this is only round of 16 that these two titans of a team are facing off on. It's absolutely astonishing that these two teams get to face each other so early, and that is just how the seedings worked this year. These teams being seed 8 and 9, there's always going to be the close match of the week. And that's these two teams this week. We see Electro coming in for the first time this match, I believe, to be able to play DT number 4.
Yeah, first time we've seen DT from either of these teams. DT3 was banned by Italy, and the other 3 had remained fairly unconsidered until now. All of the other mod brackets have at least had some action in them. So neither team really has any info on immediate strengths or weaknesses of the opponents on this particular mod. This will be the first time we'll get to see. And if this kind of swings wildly in one direction or the other, we may see the other team just go, okay, drop whatever plan we were going to do, we're picking double time now. Yeah.
Sir Waffle getting the first miss at about 120 combo is a bit worrisome. This intro of the map is a lot harder than the second half of the map. You'd probably see most of the misses in this map coming in the first 500 combo. So it's not that much to worry about just yet. I think if France do have 3-way FC coming out of the first 500, 600 combo, that's when you start to worry a bit, because the second half is definitely a lot easier than this first half. Here we go at the break. They're going to see that they're up by quite a bit, but they know that if they miss once, then it's going to flip right back over. That's the thing.
Yeah, there's that 35,000 point gap as you come to halfway, as you said. Everyone's built up a combo really nicely after that, so the score gap staying pretty much as is.
So Waffle actually had a quite subpar spin, I believe, as well as Kame. You look at the spins here, you see that Arma had a really good spin on that. This one is going to be a bit of a longer one as well. Just gotta kind of compare the scores and see how much of a difference that spin might make. It probably won't matter, considering Sir Waffle missed before 200, but it could definitely matter in the end. Everybody is just holding so strong here. It's like so close. You're getting to the point where there's not that much combo left in the map. You're gonna have to see maybe 2 misses from the side of France to be able to pull it back to the Italian side. And here into the ending, it's not much missed opportunity, and we're gonna be seeing the first triple FC of the match, I believe, on the side of France here. And man, Italy lost their pick right there by just 1 miss in the intro. One miss.
So this is good for France because it means that they are kind of performing really well at double time. But if I'm France and I see that I only won by 1 miss, I'm probably going to hesitate trying to replicate that on another double time immediately. So once again, another mod bracket has been put in that gap of this could be a coin flip that goes either way.
Yeah. And at this point, it's honestly looking super likely that we get to that tiebreaker. Is these teams, they just keep trading their picks over and over again. And yeah, I think this is a great pick from the side of France. They realize, okay, we're slightly more consistent. And I think Nomad 2 is the map you want to go to if you feel like you're more consistent.
I think it's
Also-
probably the easiest map in the pool.
Yeah.
I think probably
I
would
would-
say.
Definitely agree. I think this map also provides for a slight spinner difference as well between the two teams. I think this map has one of the easier spins between the remaining maps, but it's still definitely enough to be able to catch the team off guard. The spin at the end of the map is one of those spins that most catch players realize at this point, and they see the patterning and they're like, okay, I need to move this way, and then I'll be able to catch the full spin. And I think all these players know at this point how to catch that spin. It's just about actually doing it. And that might be disadvantageous for the side of France, considering the Italians are not the best at spins, but something like the spin on this map could very much be replicatable on a max spin for the Italians, even though they're not the best spinners. They've played this type of spin many, many, many times. Now we're going to be seeing very similar rosters for both of the teams right now. All coming in with their strong consistency players. I think Electro probably getting in there for possibly spins this map. I really hate saying that we have to worry about the spins, but with the amount of skill both of these teams have shown, it's just you have to worry about the spins at this point. 6-way FC is very, very possible. We saw with the last map only one single miss. And this map is definitely much easier.
At this point, both teams have kind of thrown everything at each other and found that there's very little difference. So trying to win a kind of consistency spinner battle might really be the only thing left that separates the two teams.
Yeah, for sure.
So to people asking, if the map is a tie, then they replay the same map, and they keep replaying it until there is no longer a tie.
I think for that, because we will not probably be seeing a tie on this one. We have two very, very early misses on the side of Electro and Nazco, followed up by Kame. And that's, honestly, I did not expect that at all. This map is so many times easier than the last map that they played, and they already have 3 times the amount of misses in the first 200 combo.
I think sometimes something about a map being easier can psych you out a little bit because you're like, oh, I shouldn't miss, so I can try and relax. But
True.
that kind of makes you more nervous, more tense.
Now there is going to be a very slight advantage for the side of Italy. I think it is about 10,000 points that we see advantage. It's not going to be enough to be recouped by the final spinner. The final spinner is very short. Yeah, we see it's going to be about 11,500 points. It's going to be just about a miss, maybe with, I think, 50 combo remaining. Should be able to swing it. Nobody getting tripped up by that section right before this course. At this point, we're kind of staring down the 8th breakpoint for the match.
Yeah, none
think
of the
this is gonna
players
be
struggling with that little burst section at the end there. Once again, another breakpoint, another pick decided by, well, one miss, effectively. The 2-1 misses on the side of France being beaten out by just a single miss from Kame on the side of Italy. And we're at 8 breakpoints in a row, 4 games apiece, and they only get 1 pick each left.
Yeah, and you can see Kame in the chat, he's like, I missed at 100 combo, I thought we lost. You know, and that just goes to show how much these teams know the other is that good. It's like, if you can say Oh man, I just missed in the start of the map. I think we lost. That's like insane.
Really shows the character of being able to hold for the rest of the map, though, in trusting that your teammates will FC and that maybe your opponent will also miss.
Yeah. Oh man. At this point, I don't know what map you even go for. Like, hidden? That's the only thing that I could see being more than a one miss between these two teams. I think these two teams are so strong at both Nomad 1, DT1, DT2, Hard Rock 2 that you're just fighting on spinners and RNG misses. But with Hidden 1 and Hidden 2, I don't think these teams are confident in their own ability to be able to pick those, and that's why they haven't been picked throughout this whole match. Could possibly.
Yeah, I think Hidden is certainly not a weakness for both, but it's not their strong suit by far.
Yeah, and by not strong suit, we mean, oh, we're not going to get a triple FC, we're probably going to miss once or twice more than average. That's what we
does show
by
how strong these teams are.
Yeah, we are going to be seeing Italy picking Hard Rock 2. This is probably the best pick for them, I believe. The ending is a bit hard to be able to play, and they might be just banking on the fact that, you know, one of the French members get nervous, or they kind of misread the ending, which is very, very possible to do. This ending is very cool.
Taking a little while to get into this one. Not quite sure what's holding us up.
You know, I see some French in the chat, and I see Boros. De Boros. So maybe that means Boros might be coming in, not sure. I used to know a little bit of French, but now not nearly as much. Seems like we are going to be
Did
getting
5
that.
years of French at school, but you don't use it and you lose it, sadly, and I haven't used it in a long time.
You know, I'm pretty much the same. I did like 7-8 years, and then it just kind of slips away. Gotta hope that it doesn't slip away for the French players on this as well, because this is tough. It's a 4-4 scoreline right now. They're coming in on Italy's pick. Every single match has been a breakpoint. So realistically, or theoretically, this should be France's point to win based off of all we've seen so far, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, based on our predictions at the start, we should have probably learned by now to just trust our eyes and not trust the statistics. Because the whole rulebook has been thrown out the window so far with this one.
Now, all these players are hitting the hard rock patterns, the kind of deformed streams in the intro of the map very well. Everybody holding an SS at this point. Now, this slow section could definitely trip up a few players, but I think all these players are so experienced with AR-10 reading that it's not going to trip them up, really. And at this point, everything is just completely tied. You can see that scoreboard. It's just moving back and forth. It's like hopping borders pretty much right now. It's like, I don't know which team's gonna win. And that's honestly so scary. Only a single droplet miss at this point could swing the whole thing.
About a quarter of the map still to go, and everyone looking so strong.
It's really just gonna come down to this ending, isn't it? Oh man. You actually do see a drop in this on the side of Vito and Electro. Armor gets a miss on the ending.
No.
And that's
The
gonna be it.
breakpoint
That's gonna
script
be.
continues.
Oh. Hollow forgot about the ending right there.
Oh, Hollow got trolled by
Been
that
very
last
bad for
slider.
him. Dude, imagine if they had the 6-way FC and then he forgot about the notes at the end and then they lost because oh my gosh, I don't even want
I've
to think about
seen
that.
plenty of people in practicing this pool miss that slider entirely, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
happened. It's happened on the stream in the match.
Oh man. But yeah, you can see on that map they had a 6-way FC for every single player until 812 combo. This map's only 839 combo long. That's man.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate. Probably not feeling too good if you're Vito, but I think that's just par for the course with how this match has gone so far. Shouldn't be too beaten up by that. So, 9 breakpoints in a row. France to pick next, and I think we're all hoping that this continues in its current fashion. 5-all, tiebreaker time. I did say I just wanted to see these two play as many maps as possible, and they've done a pretty good job for me so far.
If we break the breakpoint script at this point, man, that would be depressing. Right as we're going into the tiebreaker possibilities.
We'll have many angry complaints.
Oh yeah.
Hidden one. Ooh, interesting.
Now this is going to be probably the best decider map out of all the remaining ones in my opinion. This is the map that I think France might have been saving it for this time, really. I think both teams really didn't want to pick this. Yeah, you can see Kame in the chat is like, not like this, man. Not hidden. Not lower AR hidden. Burrows is like, please get it over with. This is stressful.
I think neither team was planning to pick this at all, but also didn't want to ban it. They were just hoping it would kind of sit there unused and unnecessary. But if there's anything that's going to separate these two teams, I agree with you, then it has to be this.
Yeah, for sure. On the side of Italy, we do see Sakhalin coming in. That is something that you do expect for the lower AR. And if you're a French player at this point, I think you're kind of saying, we might have a chance here to be able to pick up our own pick.
Oh, here we go then. Game number 10, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and the
The
thing
final
is,
pick.
Sakhalin has probably been playing this map for the past 53 minutes, just preparing, because he knows this
My
is his
time
map.
has come.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you have one job, this is your job, pretty much.
No pressure. scoreline right now, you're thinking like, well, why didn't Italy just pick hidden if they're going to win by 300,000? Because that's like convincingly the largest score difference I think we've seen in the whole match. And yeah, maybe like they should have picked hidden earlier, but it was such a risk. Like both teams not really thinking that hidden was their strength. Both kind of, you first. No, you're better. No, you're better. But yeah, it's gone all the way. 5 breakpoints on both sides, 10 in total. No team winning a single pick, and we're going to see extra mode.
See what happens when neither team picks a map. You know, these teams have been winning each other's picks, but what happens if neither of them pick? That's the real question here. Who do you think's gonna take it out on top? Show some support for Italy if you want the Italians to win. Show some support for France if you want the French players to win. Man, it has been a great match so far.
So before this match started, I would have maybe slightly given France the edge in a consistency battle, but there's been so little to pick between the two teams this match.
Yeah, honestly, I'd agree with you that I think France. I said it in our little prediction stream that was a few days ago. I think if this match went to tiebreaker, I think France has the edge. But anything's possible. Like these edges that we're talking about, they're like less than a percent edge, pretty much. These teams are like dead even, essentially. There's less edge from player skill on this map pool than there is nerves. Nerves is pretty much all of the edge that is happening between these maps, I think. And I don't think there's that much of a better song or map that this could end on. This map and song are just so good. Thank you to Grapefruit and Dave for making this great map. Hopefully it'll enter the rank selection soon. I believe getting qualified shortly after this weekend. That just goes to show how great these maps are.
It's on my to-do list for certain.
Oh yeah. And it just goes to show these guys are going to have either the best time or the worst time playing this, depending on which side of the end you come out of, you know. Either going to be really great or not so great, depending on if you win or lose.
Yeah, so this is winners bracket, so the loser won't be sent home. They'll remain in the losers bracket, but neither team wants to be in the losers bracket. Like right now, both of these teams, I think, definitely deserve to, with the performance they put in today for certain, go on in the winners bracket, but unfortunately only one of them can, and this is how we're going to decide it.
Hope we get to see a little break coming soon. I want to see who actually had the advantage on the spinner. Score is flickering quite a bit, so I don't really know how. We do see Sawalfa missing a drop. That might matter. Probably not, but I would not put it past these teams. Happened a few times where one team sees and then the other team gets maybe 1 or 2 misses. That's probably what I'd expect from something like this with these two teams. But, oh man. See a little bit of lag coming in, but it's not going to matter that much. It's only visual. Nothing's happening to the players. Every player holding strong at about 500 combo. Do see 2 droplet misses on the side of Natsuko.
Yeah, just 1 on the side of Sawwaffle, but I think France must have had a better early spin, because it looks like they've got a very slender lead. That scorebar not quite flickering as much as we have seen.
Natsuko's actually missing a lot of droplets. I think he's missed maybe 4 or 5 at this point. There's another spin right there. I think that one definitely went in the side of France. Sir Waffle does find the first miss on the side of Italy, though, on these little kind of tight patterns. That's actually a triple miss on the side of Italy. No!
That is huge bad news for Italy right there.
Oh,
Still
And
plenty
the
to
thing
play
is-
for in the map, but this like kind of section of notes right here, as we see a miss from Natsuko, this is a pattern that comes up very often in some of the later chorus sections, the little key eye bursts. So missing on that now is a serious like block on your mental, because you know that pattern's going to come up again as Sir
That's
Waffle finds
another
another drop.
Yeah, so that's gonna bring it to about a 3 miss advantage for the side of Italy, or for the side of France, which means France are gonna need to miss about 3 times to be able to bring it back to even for this scoreline. And honestly, France is one of those teams. Give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile. And Tobis, this guy hasn't missed a map on a map yet, ever since qualifiers. So I don't think he's gonna be missing anytime soon, if I'm being honest. And at that point, it's just up to Electro and Natsuko to be able to hold on to this combo that both of them have. Everybody on the side of Italy and France building up their combos relatively well. Electro and Titobus both with the SSs. Now this is actually not a break, even though that was a little bit of a pause. It wasn't a break, so teams didn't see how each other is doing, and that is going to be huge on the mental.
Yeah, France have to be feeling fairly confident with just Natsuko having that one miss. Kame is going to drop there again. It's extending the score lead in favour of France. Waffle going down as well. This is running away in France's direction.
Yeah, that's 5 misses that need to be made up. And that's... I don't know if that's going to be able to happen. It's going to be coming down to the wire, but it's like... Oh man, that's a huge miss from Electro though. That's going to only bring it down to 4 more that France needs to find for Italy to be able to come back in this one.
Tobus at 2,000 combo now. Nothing is stopping this man.
Oh yeah, this guy has been the rock of the French team for... I don't even know how long it is, but it's long. That's all you need to know. This guy has been literally like the icon of French CTB for years and years, and here he is when they need him the most, being able to SS this tiebreaker all the way to 2200 at this point. Man.
Time is running out for Italy here, and it doesn't look like France are going to make too many mistakes. Italy certainly have not played badly, but France's consistency has been on point when it mattered the most. Unless there's a serious stamina drain towards the end here that just causes someone to completely fall over, this is looking like a French victory.
And they all have no fail. This is going to be the map. Electro and Kame do trade a miss at the very end, but it's not going to matter. The only thing we're looking at now is can Tobis finish it off with the SS? Electro gets one more small miss at the end. Doesn't matter, like we said before. So Awful gets another one. All we're looking at right now is Tobis, and I think that's it. He does get the SS on the tiebreaker. That is going to be the win for France. Only just a few misses between each team. Electro only had about 4 misses individually. Natsuko had 1 miss. Arma, Kame, and Sir Waffle all finding more than 1 miss. Man, that is such a great match between these two juggernaut teams that you can't even compare it to any other match. Tobis FC'd everything in this match. He also FC'd
Actual
everything in the last match that he had. If this guy isn't number 1 on the stat sheet for best player this week, I don't know what to say.
Well, I mean, there's still like another day and a half's worth of performances. We could see someone else pop off and put on a
This
performance.
guy played like every map and FC all.
You've said quite often that like a lot of the 2 scores, even on the losing team, are better than a lot of the matches, the scores that we're going to see so far this weekend.
Yeah,
and I have to agree.
sure.
Both teams have played out of their minds. So there you go.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Team France remaining in the winners bracket going into the quarterfinals. Italy losing but not being eliminated just yet. This is a double elimination tournament, so they'll survive into the losers bracket next week, and they'll be able to hopefully lick their wounds and pick themselves back up. But again, congratulations to France.
Yeah, honestly, super well done for them. Tobis with the FC on the tiebreak again. I just want to point out how incredible Tobis played, and honestly, all the members of France and Italy played this match. This is by far probably one of the closest matchups that we have had in the Catch World Cup's history, I think. And just to show, every single point win on that match was a break point. I don't know how
Yeah,
many
every
times
single
we
one.
see that.
No team won their own pick, and I think apart from the very first and the very last pick, nothing was lost or won by more than, I want to say, like 40,000 points.
Jeez. Yeah, it's honestly insane. But coming up to our next match, Canada-Russia. And if there's any match I think that could take a candle up to that last match that we just saw, it might be this one. This one's going to be in approximately 2.5 hours from now, 18:30 UTC. Don't forget to miss it. We're going to be back right when that one is going to be starting, and it's going to be a great one.
Yeah, so as was said, we're going to take a little bit of a break now because there's a long time between these two matches. So do set your alarms, make sure to follow the channel and follow us on Twitter as well, OSLive, and you'll get notified of when the stream goes live and of course when future matches are being played. If you have a few bucks to spare and you want to help support your favorite team and give back to the prize pool, help make World Cups awesome, please do consider buying a banner from the store for your favorite team. All 32 teams currently still in the tournament can be supported in this way, and they look very, very cool. But for now, I think that'll be it from myself, JB Hyperion, and Seka.
That's going to be it for now. We'll see you in approximately 2.5 hours. Thank you guys for watching. Don't miss it.